My name is Thiago Comitri and I'm a volunteer with the Spiritist Society of Melbourne. Tonight I'm going to share my understanding to the topic Preoccupy. I'm a student of the spiritualist philosophy, Spiritism, and what I will expose is my understanding of the topic under the lens of the spiritualist philosophy, Spiritism. It might differ from other members of this group as it is aligned with my current knowledge of the subject. So let's start with some definition. What is preoccupy? To be the main thought in someone's mind, causing other things to be forgotten. I got this definition from the Cambridge Dictionary, and is quite aligned with I will be exposing here. So, what are you preoccupied with? Should you really be preoccupied with that? My presentation tonight will be based in this book, Changing Attitudes, written by the medium Francisco do Espírito Santo Neto and dictated by the Spirit Hamad. Also, it will be based on the Spirit's book as well, which contains the principles of Spiritism according to the teachings of spirits of high degree, transmitted through a number of mediums from every part of the world, then received, coordinated, and codified by Allan Kardec. So, are you really with me in this present moment? Or are you thinking of what you'll be doing after this presentation? That's the strategy of preoccupation, keeping us away from the present moment due to things that might or not happen. Spiritism, this spiritualist philosophy, says that we are individuals with the main objective of progressing spiritually towards perfection, and at the same time being co-creators. So let's explore a little bit this statement. It's saying about individuality. And this is for us to understand a lot of difficulties and problem situations in our own lives. So this philosophy says that we are spirits, created, simple and ignorant, and with the main objective to progress, to evolve towards perfection. Okay, but how can we do that in one life? And the answer is we cannot. There is a concept that explains that very well, which is reincarnation. And reincarnation helps me to open my mind to see a big picture and to see that we as an intelligent being, which is this spirit, we develop our individuality throughout many existences. So we are a product of many existences. And at the same time being co-creators. How can we be co-creator? If you see around and just realize that everything that couldn't be created by the man, by the human, must be created by something else. So to collaborate with this creation, we can start doing this, being better spirits, better person, contributing with others. Keep in mind that everyone is in the same situation as us, trying to evolve, trying to be better. So if we collaborate with them, they will collaborate with us naturally. And doing this, we are being co-creators as well, because we're helping others. And as a result of that, many things can be created. other than a good relationship. Okay? So, with these concepts in mind of individuality, of evolution, reincarnation, that we have multiple lives. So, let's continue. So, all we can and should do is lead our own lives. Because of that main objective, we should concern about ourselves, not being selfish, but we have an objective, we have a duty to work on, and that will help us leading our own lives, not wasting precious energy and time obsessed by future events we have no power over. It means taking care of yourself, leading your own life. It will make yourself to concentrate in the present moment. So, living your days, your minutes, living every time in the present intensity, you know, you don't need to concern about the past because you cannot change that. But you can do that differently if you just start now, in the present, doing differently, right? That could give you a better future. Okay. Also, you don't need to concern, as I just said, you don't need to concern about the future because there are events that might not happen and you are preoccupying your mind and your feelings and your mood with that. So, for example, things that we have no power over, other people's disease, or our children's happiness. I'm dad, so I know how much we desire our children to be happy, but we have no control over that. People's love, you cannot make someone to love you. Or they love you or they don't. Other people's opinion about us, their opinion, you can contribute to change their mind, but it's up to them. Family members' death. No matter how much we get preoccupied about these matters, they won't bring back health or happiness, love, and even the life. Are you having insomnia, deception, and grief for fear of what might happen in the future? Getting worried needlessly about things and people could result in emotional weariness, which can become a serious problem. We cannot control future events. We even don't know if they will happen. Sometimes, I don't know if this has happened to you, but in the past, I used to think like, I would just give an example of if I try to talk to my boss man or someone else, and or to resolve a situation, try to resolve a situation with someone else that I'm not too close to the person, and then I start to thinking of what that person would say if I just say something. Oh, if they say this or that, I will do something. So I start creating, I start imagine things that might not happen. And most of the time, when you think and create all that scenario in your mind, and you go to the point with that person and start having a talk, and that is totally different from what you have wasting your time thinking of, and was pretty nice, smoothly, and made you feel like better with the situation, but also make you think of, oh, I waste my time planning all that scenario and situation, and everything was different. that's a classic scenario, an example for wasting time and precious energy. So, for preparing or being alert in order to achieve plans made for the upcoming days in a sign of good sense and logical thinking, let's separate preoccupation. Let's consider preoccupation, precaution, but they are totally different things, right? One is sensible and moderate. Other is irrational and it stops people from acting, harming them in their projects and enterprise. So when you are preoccupied with something, you cannot really think properly. So you are creating the situation. You are thinking over things that might happen, or you even create that possibility of moment or situation that is fruit of your mind, and then you start making other thoughts and plans about that, but actually probably is still things of your mind. However, precaution is differently. When you think of worrying, or when you are concerned about your future, not concerned the word, but when you make some plans for your future, for your retirement time, so you are acting with precaution. So that's a good thing because it's rational. You plan for the future, but you are doing things in the present for the future. It's not thinking of things that will happen or might not happen, and you are wasting your present time. You are not building your present time for that. It's totally different, you know. So that's what I told about for preparing or being alert in order to achieve plans made for the upcoming days is a sign of good sense and logical thinking with precaution. So, worrying thoughts. These are examples that we associate worry to providing protection. For example, of course, I worry about you since I love you so much. We say these statements all the time because we are so attached to people. With our kids, for example, the one who has kids is always worried. If you're a parent, you probably thought this at least, but they have their own lives, right? While we think we are defending and helping our family members, we might actually be confining and hurting them by transmitting, even in imperceptible way, fear, insecurity, and catastrophic thoughts. Because sometimes our kids need space. They need to go through and experience some difficulties. If you go all the time worried and try to help to make things easier for them, they will not be experienced those difficulties and might be hard for them in the future when you will not be there to help when they are at school or when they are the uni or even the work. So when they are working and they have any difficulty there, they need to go through. And if they have the experience of going through difficulties since they are a kid, it will be easier for them to deal with when they get this kind of this situation challenges. So just think of providing protection, then being too worried about, and actually not being helpful, but being in the opposite way. So each creature in nature has all that is necessary for them. Why would that be different for us human beings? For example, the birds don't need to concern about having food, right? They don't need to swim to harvest in the future. So everything is there. Why would it be different with us? We are part of nature. Then we have all that is necessary to supply ourselves. We don't need to concern much. We just need to live our lives. Everything is gonna be okay. And regardless the situation, if you're going through problems and at the moment, if you just concentrate and understand that something good is coming, or there is some teachings for you to learn with this situation we are going through, you understand that that was for your evolution, that was for your progress. And if you think of the time we are now at the moment, I don't know when you're seeing this video, but it's recorded in September of 2020, and we're going through a pandemic times now with the COVID-19 virus that has no solution yet. So everything is gonna be okay. If you see the bright side of the situation, you see that the nature is restoring itself. You have less pollution in the world because of this COVID that had the consequence of people staying home to avoid the spread of this virus. And there are many transformations happening in the world, and that will result in good things. Countries are united for something good for everyone. Everyone wants to discover the vaccine to share with everyone because it's a good win for everyone. So everything has the bright side. I don't need to worry or think of if something happened. Just live the present. Stay in the present. Okay, live all your minutes. Enjoy every moment. Everything we see is connected to us and to all parts of the universe, and that we share. In fact, a common nature. We are part of this everything. So let's observe the way life flows and stop preoccupying. As I've said, the time flies, and we get older very soon. So when I was a kid, I used to enjoy so much my holidays with my family. And for me, sometimes I didn't know which day it was. And because I was lost in the time, I was no worried about the day or the time or whatever. I just wanted to enjoy my holidays as much as I could. So we should do the same with our lives. When you are in holidays, you have the same feeling, same emotion. When it's ending your holidays, I need to go back to work, isn't it? Because holiday is good. It's a time for you to stay with your family doing things that you like. Why don't you do the same with your own life? enjoy your life, enjoy your moment here in this existence. So, as I've been saying, seize the life, living one day at a time. When there is hope, there is faith, and faith opens the divine flow for maintenance and prosperity of our existence, giving us the protection we seek for in all our level of our life. So we are in continuous progression and evolution. But if you have faith in rational faith, I mean things that you understand and you just believe because you understand that that is possible, that makes sense, there is logic on that, then you feel more confident, more comfortable on doing things and expanding and investing your time doing things because you believe, right? So that's my suggestion to you, to deposit your trust in your own life, in yourself, because you was created to win and there is no other way. So you are always going towards perfection. So one day you win, you achieve that. Everyone will achieve that. But to achieve that perfection, we need to do our work now, in the present, today, doing our best, enjoying, and take the most of this life. Spiritism proposes a change of perspective for us to use other lens to analyze a situation. In this case, maybe our own lives. So, how are you seeing your life at the moment? Try to change this lens or expand your vision. Try to see a big picture of this. Let's improve ourselves for something bigger. Hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Thank you very much for watching.